What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of Muse from abroad. This video is going to serve as a gameplay walkthrough guide for all of you watching this, if not just entertainment. And if you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. I do a lot of these videos, and come join me on my Discord server. So yeah, we were solving this case. And we are finding out how the intruder got into the refugee camp. I see a ladder there. 8 feet short.
No, it's too short for these walls or cliffs.
He obviously came from the water, right? Because I've seen the footprints. But if he came from this side, where did he come from?
Back off.
He must have used the boat.
Back off. Excuse me, just one question. Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this. Are you able to help me? Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
Excuse me, just one question. Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
Did he come from above somewhere?
Who isn't allowed to visit the crime scene these days?
A single Malpal butt. Roadman cigarettes. A brand highly regarded by law enforcement officers. So there wasn't any sophisticated infiltration plan. The good old police just let the man into the camp. Now we have everything we need to get the full picture of what happened at the camp.
Right. Why was he allowed to enter? So the police also have a hand in this. Okay. No, she was dragged. They show her walking with the man. No, he wasn't protecting the lady. Lad. Yeah, right. Oh, come on. That's where her necklace or whatever, the ornament broke off. Probably he was running. Because we see footprints there, right? Yeah. While he was running, he tripped. Or someone did that. Yep. That would have happened. Yep. But how did he got killed? How did he get killed?
So, we have a thug who came to take a refugee woman with him. She resisted, but he dragged her by force. One of the refugees stood in his way, armed with a stick, yet he could do nothing against a cutthroat with a blade. The man didn't anticipate that the other refugees would intervene and stand against him. In the confusion, the woman managed to break free. The thug took fright and fled. He was stopped by the falling crates. He stumbled and fell, piercing his chest with his own blade.
Oh.
However, the wound didn't cause instant death. He managed to stand, but still bleeding, he lost his balance on the bridge and fell. Before all of this, the man had freely entered the camp through the main entrance. The police admitted him after they had a short smoke together.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. In our man's case, it's the same sword.
I don't think he would let us in.
Back off. Mr. Harlow, your refugees didn't murder anyone.
What? Pray tell me what you've learned.
All right, listen carefully. This might solve one problem.
Oh,
The man came to the camp intending to kidnap one of your refugees, a woman. What he didn't expect was that a brawl had broken out. In the chaos of it, the man stumbled over those crates.
how do you know he fell on his own blade?
The wound in his chest was inflicted from an unusual angle. It was not an offensive stab, shall we say. And judging by the blood at the scene, the intruder managed to raise himself but was unable to walk very far. He ultimately fell into the canal.
But how did he sneak into the camp? Why didn't the police see him?
And this is where your new problems emerge, Mr. Harlow.
What do you mean?
You're not a dull-witted man. You know what I mean. There is no feasible way to get into the camp without the police guards knowing of it.
The pile of mess I had to sort out has just become bigger, but somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, I thank you for your help, Mr. Holmes. I'll take it from here. Meanwhile, I'll make sure the police aren't detaining the refugees any longer. You can go back in and look for your witness.
You
Nice.
think one small clock can make any difference in this place?
Who knows, John? Just one ill-fitting cog could make the whole machine crumble.
Where is the girl?
You're the one who tended to our man's wounds. I thank you greatly. The police didn't allow us to help him.
The police will leave you alone now. I've proven to them that the man who came into the camp died due to his own foolishness.
Thank you for standing up for us. But nobody would help us without a reason. You're here because you want something.
Yes, I do. I need to speak with the girl drawn here.
The dead man came for her too. He wanted to take the girl away, but we won't allow her to be hurt again. What do you want from Nayla?
Nayla. She was hurt some time ago. I'm here to find the people who did this and bring them to justice. And to find them, I need Nayla's help. Will you let me speak to her?
justice. There's no justice on this land. But you helped us, so maybe your words are not empty. You can speak to Naila if she wants it. But I will be watching you.
Poor Naila.
Hello, Naila. My name is Sherlock. I know someone hurt you. I am here to help. I'm trying to find the people involved and bring them to justice. Please. There is a photograph, and I'm sorry, it is terrible, but I simply must ask. Where did this happen? What can you tell me about these people? Christ, Sherlock. Naila, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this.
You come here for me, but you are rude and cruel and condescending. A cross. The man had this cross. Now go away. Leave us be. I do not need another white man's help.
You know what I find myself...
That wasn't me.
Not my best work, John, by a long shot. Naila doesn't want us meddling. I'm starting to wonder what this all achieves.
But she helped you anyway. Now we know that maniac's face and the cross he wore, we can still catch him.
I find myself very similar to Sherlock. Hard at expressing emotions or showing emotions. Let's ask the people. Hello, miss. Okay.
At least some of your kind have a heart. Thank you again.
Help me, please.
They often take us from the camps to work. Most don't mind, though. It's the only way we get a glimpse of freedom.
To such work, decided not to allow their women to be
So
taken.
there's a smuggling ring in the camp. This wasn't the first time that someone freely entered the camp to take a refugee out.
At least it was certainly his last time. My gut tells me that we'll learn more about this ring when we find out where the thug came from.
Why is she crying? The man is alive and we cannot talk to him. How great.
Could you help me?
Sorry. We don't see much here.
Excuse me, just one question.
Sorry. We don't see much here.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, you idiot. Oh. Oh, he had this. Oh, okay. Wow.
owe you a lot, Mr. Holmes.
You still...
The intruder has a most peculiar...
You really want to know, kid? Why?
I'm sure you have it in your records, so...
In my records, it's just a... Ah, to hell with you. Suit your... Off the record, though. Such tattoos are often connected to a man named Mr. Niccolo Bernadotti.
Bernadotti, you say?
A respectable businessman in Scalario. His company imports goods and wines, and smuggles everything that can be smuggled between the colonies. His people can be identified by an obscure tattoo. But these are all merely rumors, you see. If Mr. Bernadotti...
Mr. Bernadotti. We gotta find him. And now do this. I hope the girl's fine. Let's go to the police station. I think we should go to the police station first.
May I ask for your assistance? Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
Oh, damn it. Alright, we need to go to City Hall, not this. Or... yeah. I don't know why it was showing red on. It was so close to the crime scene.
Treasure maps from the governor.
I'm curious, how did Mycroft recruit you? I doubt you're...
That's correct. Your brother noticed me when I tracked down a spy at the archives. And you? Did Mycroft force you?
Not at all, we simply have a mutual interest.
Of course. A fruitful and willing...
Well, I'm his younger brother. I have to accept the consequence.
I suppose, in a way, we are colleagues.
In the remotest way possible, Miss Oni.
military commissioner in India. So, you know, these are the kind of people India had to suffer. Honored by the Queen herself. Wow. March 1878. British envoy Cordona with his own cabinet in the city hall. So he's here right now.
I'll be right here.
Have you found anything helpful?
Is this the same? Wow.
If you're here on matters of signing up for military service, come back tomorrow. Our department needs to straighten out some business. Why are you staring at me like I'm a Madame Tussauds figure?
You blame yourself for what you did. Won't be any good and...
What sort of did are we talking about?
I'm here because of Naylor.
Who?
You don't remember her name.
Lad, if you won't tell me where you came, I'll call for someone here to...
Do you recognize this man?
We definitely look alike.
Really? Then you won't mind if I pass this along to the newspaper?
All right. All right. Is this about money, as you said in the...
I've never written a single word to you. Bribery, not my style.
So, that letter...
Well, it appears that more and more people in the city are finding out about your despicable hobby, doesn't it? You're in the clutches of justice, and very soon they will squeeze you. It's it.
Fine. I suppose now we have a nice long talk.
Sherlock Holmes.
Shame. All the best discussions are accompanied by a glass of whiskey.
Respect.
Where are my manners? My name is Thomas Norton. So...
You mentioned blackmail.
All right. A couple of days ago, I received an anonymous letter. The blackmailer made it clear that if there is a painting, then a photograph exists too. And I should be wary of what it might do to my...
What does the blackmailer want?
Money, of course. What else do such people want? Needless to say, up until the last moment, I hoped he was bluffing. But I burnt it as soon as I read it. I've left enough evidence. There's no need for it.
So, let's return to the beginning. What happened?
I vaguely remember that night. As usual at such parties, you meet people, you talk with them, they invite you to what can I say? I got myself mixed up with the wrong company, and somebody must have mixed some... I completely lost my sanity.
You don't say. Do refugee girls often appear on the menu?
It's rather rare.
So you didn't attend the party to engage in an exotic experience involving a vulnerable woman unable to accuse you of assault?
I would never have planned such a terrible thing.
Boniface Mercurio, does the
He's an artist.
the one responsible for the painting that compromises you?
Oh, that is bad. Wait, you don't think that I have anything to do with this?
You had motive to kill him.
Maybe I did, but listen. I know how this looks, but murder? That's on another level. I had thought... Well, him, yes, I thought he could have been the blackmailer. But there were plenty of ways to fail by making a move, so I chose to wait. To see what he would do next.
I don't believe people, I believe...
Then look at the evidence.
The painting that depicted you in the image of the devil was stolen by a mercenary. Did you have anything to do with it?
I might be a rotten person, sir, but hiring criminals for illicit...
And buying the painting in an attempt to hide the crime.
What would you do in my situation?
I would never put myself in such a situation.
You're young. I could never have imagined myself in my current position. Yet, we all make mistakes, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Holmes, I've built my entire career on... I made a mistake. But I'm not a villain from some cheap adventure fiction. By putting...
Rotting in prison is the least you deserve, but I have a better idea. You will make amends and help the ones you hurt.
What do we do here? Help Nayla or help obviously help refugees, but I'll ask him to help the refugees.
Use your connections to help patriate the refugees, find them decent homes, give them jobs. There must be a
Yes, all right.
That's... Nayla deserves the
Oh
very
yeah, of
utmost
course.
of what you can do.
Help the girl? I can't risk the press paying extra attention to her. I will do...
I need to think this all through. Don't do anything foolish in the meantime.
What makes you think you can decide what's best for these people?
Such is the arrogance of British imperialism. I take your point.
Exactly. You said it right. Tch. I don't know what to do here. Niccolo Bernarotti.
Have you thought?
Not yet.
No way we are going to give the photograph to him.
Have you found anything helpful?
Other officers can help the Cordona refugees. I don't think giving the photo to him will do any good. He said that's the last thing he will do.
Mr. Holmes, you've returned. Have you uncovered anything new about the theft? I've brought news, but not all of it will please you. Fill me in, Mr. Holmes. I tracked down Boniface Mercurio. I presume he wasn't delighted about the situation. He was not having a good day on account of his murder. Killed in his own flat by the same person that stole his painting. Oh, sweet Mercurio. Perishing in the pursuit of his art. How apt. I will miss his exceptional sense of humor. I located the thief, but found him rather cold. He was tight-lipped about the painting, too. Ah, he's dead. How very droll, Mr. Holmes. One presumes you were not responsible. It was an accident at the refugee camp. He impaled himself on his own knife. Life is nothing if not cruel and capricious. What about the stolen painting? I found the source of Mercurio's artistic inspiration. A photograph. What troubled me was that the sexual act captured was non-consensual. She was violated? Dear God, how despicable. Her abuser was in fact the British envoy. Mercurio took a picture of him committing the atrocity and then used it as artistic inspiration. I had no idea a mere break-in would eventually Unfortunately, I could not locate the missing painting. Oh, Mr. Holmes, such disappointing news. I'm afraid the case... I suppose if you were unable to find it... Oh, but I can tell. You... Mr. Vogel, I want you to make everything public, including... Mr. Holmes. Loyal to your own truth till the end. Yes, the story is sensational, but you must be aware that exposing the scandal will further hurt the victim. No matter what one does, the truth tends to come out, as well as... Though it's only your subjective truth being exposed. Not that I'm judging. It's perfectly... When you called me, you knew exactly what you would get. Oh, but I'm not like you, Mr. Holmes. I cannot be sure of anything. Regardless, well... Now that we've resolved all of our outstanding matters, I have a gift for you. I am told it belonged to your mother. Previously, you mentioned there may have been more to my mother's passing than And what exactly... Frankly, I'm not sure how to answer that. Thank you, Mr. Vogel.
All right. Let's also try. Can we find the painting though? do you find the painting? Let's search for Bernadotte. Business British Scaladio. No? Oh yeah. Italian Mafia.
What a lovely man this Bernadotte is, eh, Sherry? Can't wait until we get to meet him. It seems they're not expecting guests.
I won't wait for an invitation, John. Do you know anything about this?
No, I don't know anything about that.
These
They got
workers
guns
don't
and
look like
stuff.
your average Cordona folk.
They're refugees from the camp.
That's our way in, Sherry.
May I help you, officer? The camp, you say? Aye, sir. You can go in.
Oh, I skipped the dialogue. I want to see the dialogue. Look what John's saying. Oh, come on. What? No. Oh my god.
Don't fuss, mate. You can come in.
Wow, so we cannot
Sherry,
read the
that was
dialogues.
almost too bright an idea to enter a bandit lane, not just disguised, but disguised as a copper.
The silver and treasure, mate. Loads of pirate gold buried somewhere around, just waiting to be found.
It's all right, there's no treasure.
But maybe there is. I just need to crack the bloody riddle.
Now, what do we do now?
Sherry, look! This seems familiar.
Masks. Oh god, really?
A Dogon statue from West Africa. A century old at least.
Oh.
Masks, traditional for the Chokwe people of Central Africa. VH Grindley Flow Blue Tableware. This is what lies behind the facade of Bernadotte Company Limited.
Wow, they're smuggling African artifacts.
An amazing piece of culture. I imagine many collectors and museums would be interested in having it.
Running late, officer. Your friends left not too long ago. If the damn idiot hadn't stolen the canary, I'd be begging in silver down in the mines. Instead of this.
Right.
This is it. This is where all the magic happens.
Accounting.
I suppose it's Mr. Bernadotte with our fine governor. (1875) was taken a few years back. John, how many people in Cordona have a photograph with the governor, do you think?
You definitely don't have one.
The Bernadotte Company Limited trade network reaches the most distant colonies of the great empire.
It must be very convenient for a man like Bernadotte.
Excuse me, Mr. Bernadotte is busy right now.
Invitation to ball.
I don't know who you are, but someone will be punished for letting you in. First, let's talk.
I just barged in.
Sir, you're obstructing the light. Could you step back?
Sherry, don't you think this office suits me?
Oh, it's Watson.
Whenever you're ready. I'd hate to intrude.
Ah.
Bad news. The thug you sent to the refugee camp only succeeded in stabbing himself. His next
Hold your horses. Who the hell are...
Sherlock Holmes. And you are Niccolo Bernadotti, a smuggler kid.
Few men would dare waltz into my office and address me like that. You are... This is private property. Give me one reason why I should not shoot you on this...
I was hired, privately, to investigate the recent theft of a painting from an art gallery. My investigation led me to a man from your organization, and thus, to you, Mr. Bernadotti.
That is quite a stretch. Why would I need to steal a painting when I could buy anyone I wanted? So this painting is why you broke into my office.
As I said, your man was found. He was there to kidnap a woman, but the other refugees intervened to try and save her. The ensuing scuffle resulted in the man's accidental suicide. He sported the same tattoo as your men in this building. In fact, it also bears a resemblance.
You have no idea what you are talking about. I can assure you this was no kidnapping. The refugees in the camp are on edge. What happened there is a tragic accident.
For what reason was your man there if...
Why would I answer? You are yet to justify your presence in the slum.
Mr. Bernadotti, do you know the name? Mercurio was a local artist. Recently, a man broke into his apartment, ransacked the place, and killed him. The thief was looking for something.
You are testing my patience, boy.
In a moment, the connection will reveal itself.
So many words, so little action. When you barged into my office, Mr. Holmes, I got the impression you wanted to talk business. Now I see you had come just to talk. Tell me exactly what you want, or get out.
It was necessary groundwork for what comes next. I have enough evidence to conclude that the gallery thief, the artist's killer, and the dead man in the camp are all the same person.
Your time is almost up, Mr. Holmes.
Before you draw your gun, there is one final detail I am yet to mention. The young woman your man was tasked to collect from the refugee camp had been defiled at a perverse masquerade party. That violation was captured in a photograph by Boniface Mercurio and used as a reference for his painting. The photo shows the attacker's face.
Finally. That's why you're here, Mr. Holmes. You have the photograph.
It is what your man was after when he broke into Mercurio's apartment, and it is what you're after too, isn't it, Mr. Bernadotti?
You have the photograph with you. How much do you want for it?
I am not naive enough to carry it with me, but I am yet to decide what I shall do with it. I know the man in the photo is a British envoy. What interest do you have in his downfall?
I must admit, I'm rather impressed by how comprehensively you have pursued this matter. And so, you deserve the honest answer. My business dealings are often arduous in their bureaucracy. A man in his position, willing to look the other way, could ease my work significantly. In return, I will make sure no one looks his way either. A favor for a favor.
Also known as blackmail, the modus operandi of any true professional.
It was not originally my idea. Mercurio set things in motion, extorting the envoy for the most trivial of ends. Money. In response, the envoy hired my man to retrieve the painting and the photograph, eliminating Mercurio's leverage. I only learned the whole story after the artist was killed in his home.
And rather than extricate yourself, instead you took over Mercurio's venture.
It fell into my lap. As a businessman, I simply seized the opportunity. Now, how much do you want for the image?
Why did you send your man to remove the woman from the camp?
Without a photograph, her testimony was the next best thing. Securing her was in everyone's interest. I thought the girl was safer with us. I did not anticipate what would happen at the camp.
I saw refugees from the camp.
I have made certain arrangements with City Hall and the police.
And how much do you save by capitalizing on their cheap labor?
I have heard no complaints. They seem happy just to get out of that slum.
Man, oh man, he has orchestrated so much.
I could not help but appreciate the collection of smuggled artifacts in your storeroom.
Oh, high and mighty of you, Mr. Holmes. I pay generous rates to developing cultures and spread their culture to eager buyers. And furthermore,
A very convenient way of thinking.
I have traveled wildly, Mr. Holmes. I've seen people in far-flung lands for whom my services are a lifeline. Without them, they would starve. The tax on cargo is often so absurd that it would be more profitable to simply sink your ship than dock it in the harbor. And trust me, I am speaking from experience.
Why should I give you the photograph?
Just name your price.
What if my price were not money? You claim to have connections, Mr. Bernadotte. Perhaps you could improve conditions for the refugees. Give them a chance for a better life.
Ha! I do have connections, Mr. Holmes, but help the whole camp? You are asking too much. I could, however, make arrangements for one person.
What a
The woman who was
shrewd
violated
businessman.
will have her own home outside the camp, solely for her and her child. She will no longer be a refugee, but a princess. That I can guarantee.
Is that really possible?
It will be neither fast nor easy, but I can do it. She deserves it, don't you agree? And as for her abuser, he will serve me as much as he deserves.
So, in your plan, everybody will be given their due. Especially you, Mr. Bernadotte.
Seems like a fair deal, no? I doubt anyone could offer you better. Simply give me the photograph, and the world becomes a better place. I give you my word.
Damn. What do we do now? This is a lot of stuff. All of this is deep shit. Would Nordson and Bernadotte want the photograph of Neela? It will help keep their involvement a secret. In return, they'll promise to use the contacts to provide. What if they break their promise? It won't work. It's also possible to approach Werner Vogel back in the gallery. You can give him the photograph and he'll make their crimes public. Whatever your decision, Vogel will send a package to Sherlock. Make your way to Stonewood. I think it would be better if we give it to Werner Vogel, because giving any of them the photograph is basically helping the culprit, and you should not be swayed
I
by...
opened the front door for you. Please, sir, do not linger.
One should not be swayed by the big offers, whether they will complete their offers or not. That's not the case. The first thing to do is bring justice, and that means giving Werner Vogel the photograph. I should save this though, in case, you know. Just in case.
Mr. Holmes, you've returned. Have you uncovered anything new about the theft?
I've brought news, but not all of it will please you.
Fill me in, Mr. Holmes. I won't shoot the messenger.
I tracked down Boniface Mercurio.
I presume
He was not having a good day.
Oh, sweet Mercurio.
I located the thief.
Huh, he's dead. How very droll.
It was an accident at the refugee camp.
Life is nothing if not cruel and capricious. What about the stolen painting?
I found the source of Mercurio.
She was violated? Dear God.
Her abuser was in fact the Brit.
I had no idea.
Unfortunately, I could not.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, such disappointment.
I'm afraid the case has.
I suppose if you. Oh, but I can tell.
Mr. Vogel, I want you to make everything.
Mr. Holmes, loyal to your own truth. The story is sensational, but you must be aware that exposing the scandal will further.
No matter what one does, the truth tends to come out.
Though it's only your subjective truth being exposed.
When you called me, you knew exactly what you would get.
Oh, but I'm not like. Well, now that we've resolved all of our outstanding, I am told it belonged.
And what exactly have you said?
Frankly, I'm not sure how to answer that.
Previously, you mentioned there may have. Thank you, Mr. Vogel.
A package from Vogel. So let's go back to Stonewood Manor to see what the package is. I'll also upload a video just showing you the 3 endings of this mission. No, not here.